Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a very critical video here, and honestly, this is hilarious. I was doing a live stream last night reacting to the huge Trump-Musk interview. There's been reports now, independent people admitting Trump is the answer. I mean, Harris won't even do interviews. It's sad. But guys, take a look at this. We've got all-party voter registration changes over almost a span of 4 years, from the election in 2020, November of 2020, until the most recent data that was just released in, this was July 2024. It gets released like in August, and then the August data will be released in September and so on. Every state and county can be found on the drive. And by the way, I've been told it's worse than this if you actually look at the drive when it comes to the counties. But guys, look at this. These are the changes. You can see Republicans losing, voters, I guess you could say, although it's not that simple because people, maybe they leave the Republican Party, but they still vote Republican if they're an independent. Republicans also could gain more independents in Alaska to where it could rule it out. It's only 3,000 people. It's not a major thing, but the reason I wanted to show this was this is just crazy. So the Democrats, they're losing people, according to voter registration, in literally every state outside of California. And again, it's not the biggest thing, but it's hilarious and it's embarrassing because they talk about liberals, these, up-and-coming people. They're so great. Nobody wants to be part of this party. Let's take a look at this. Alaska minus 7,000, Arizona minus 180K, California plus 71K, minus 130, minus 45, minus 3,000, look at Florida, minus a million. That's the exact change. And from 2020 to where it was a swing state and you had polls coming out, guys, the exact same polls that had right before the election, they had Biden up by 10 over Trump in Florida. Those are the polls that have Kamala winning in like Michigan, and liberals are coping and saying this is real. It's like, yeah, that same poll said Biden was winning Florida by like 20 points. I mean, it's ridiculous. But I mean, that's just crazy. Minus a million in terms of voter registration. And that's exactly why that state, which has always been this very close swing state, so many rallies going on there, both campaigns go to it, a lot of electoral votes. It is not a swing state anymore. But all these states minus 14K, 74K, 6K, 165K, 133K, 64, 62, 197. Massachusetts, not that it matters. I mean, they're still going to win. But minus 40, minus 80, minus 89, 2,000. I mean, look at New Jersey, 152K. New York's the huge one, minus almost 500,000. New York is becoming more conservative. Not that it matters a ton in this election cycle because Trump's going to lose it, but I think the popular vote's going to be a lot closer. We saw in 2022 during the midterms, with New York. But guys, the bigger point here is this is just insanely embarrassing. And then they're going to say this is the ultimate cope. Oh, we're so obsessed with Trump that we switched from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party during the primaries to vote against Trump, and they voted for Nikki Haley. That's true. That's how demented they are, and they're so obsessed to where they'll literally switch parties to vote against Trump. And of course, it doesn't work. Trump wins everything in terms of the primaries, but that's how obsessed they are. But that doesn't really explain all of this happening to where it's a widespread thing, and you've got important states like Nevada, Republicans losing 23,000 in terms of voter registration, but the Democrats, they're up at around 80. Even New Hampshire, potential swing state, 89K. That's a lower populated area. North Carolina, wow, that looks very nice. Again, it's not end all be all. We could have states where Republicans are leading voter registration by 5 or Democrats are leading by 5, and then they lose the state because, there's a lot of independent people that vote for sure. But I'm just saying, you look at North Carolina, minus 250,000 almost, versus plus 36K. That's a state that Trump won in 2020 and 2016 with a much worse approval rating. So you're seeing people come out and say North Carolina's tied. That's total crap. I mean, based off of so many different underlying metrics, it's just not an accurate poll. I'm sorry. But how about Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania, minus 330K in terms of voter registration. Wow. You've also got, minus 52K. Nobody wants to be a Democrat. I mean, legitimately, you can see Republicans gain, over 250,000, around 400K. Democrats lose 3.5 million. Are these accurate numbers? By the way, I've been told the counties are even worse. I never even look at this. Let me look at this drive and see how bad this actually is. Can we get they're not. I'm not gonna be able to look through all of that. But I was told in the counties, it's like every county is liberals are losing people in every county in the United States almost. Maybe it's an over exaggeration slightly, but wow. I mean, how bad of a party do you have to be to lose everyone? And then their cope is, oh, no, don't worry. We're just so obsessed with Trump. We had to switch to being Republicans during the primaries, the close primaries, to vote against Trump and vote for Nikki Haley. That doesn't explain all of this where they're all negative and you're losing 1 million in Florida. And they come out with a poll and they say they're going to be competitive in Florida. I just saw they had Trump up 5. It's total crap. And all the underlying metrics say Florida is going to be Trump's state by like 9 or 10 points at least. And this is the media will not tell you this is the shift. We are seeing a legitimate shift. Why do you think Kamala Harris has to come out and admit we have to be tough on the border? And by the way, the far left people are starting to hate Kamala Harris for saying that because she has come out. And I mean, the Democrats, obviously, they're not dumb. They want to win. And they know this is a massive, a huge issue, immigration. And they know it's a big loss for them. So they have to say, all right, listen, we had horrible policies in 2021. Obviously, we should have never done the stuff that we did to where we got rid of all the Trump policies that made it, very hard to, illegally immigrate to the country. And they called that racist because they think, you should be able to be in the country illegally, mainly because they want votes. I mean, that's why they want to give the 10 million amnesty. That's the thing with Trump they didn't mention last night. Trump was great last night, and there's independents that have come out and said, like, it was unbelievable what Trump and Elon were talking about. And even Elon, someone, the number one innovator in the world, he's even admitting now, I mean, he was a Democrat. He's like, this is ridiculous. And then they cope and they say, oh, he's just an evil person. Well, no, he was a Democrat and he just sees through it at this point. I'm sorry. It's not that he doesn't care about paying more taxes or anything like that. He's rich enough already. It doesn't matter. It's all meaningless to him, whether he has to pay 30 billion or 35 billion or 40 billion, whatever it ends up being. He's just realizing how ridiculous this situation is. So you're seeing nobody wants to be a liberal. That's what this shows right here. They're losing in every state. They're losing voters in every single state except for California over 4 years. And remember, these same people said that Biden was one of the greatest presidents of their generation. And this is the results you get under a Biden administration. You lose voters in every single state. Except for California. Oh yeah, he was a superstar. Yeah, Biden was amazing for sure. This is ultra. I mean, look at Republicans. They gain in California. They gain in Florida. They gain in Idaho. They gain in Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Nebraska, New Jersey, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Utah, West Virginia. Obviously, not a lot of swing states there, but still, there is some gains happening, and you're only losing 49K versus the Democrats losing 410K. In terms of that. So, I mean, this is huge stuff when it comes to the Democrats losing so many. And again, there could be a number of things not renewing and things like that. But overall, that is just crazy. And then we've also got this. So apparently it was even worse than we expected when it came to this Time magazine thing. This doesn't even look like Kamala Harris. I don't know what that is, but perhaps the most telling sentence of the cover story, quote, her campaign denied a request for an interview for the story. So this is how pathetic the media is. They give her a puff piece. They say, do an interview for your puff piece, and she declines it. The jokes write themselves. How about this? We've got Tim Walz ordering police to shoot people with paintballs in 2020. And I mean, by the way, when it comes to this stuff on X, I guess it's because of the advertisers, but you would really like Elon to look into this. Why do we have to censor the word COVID? And I get it's like, oh, I want to make money because the advertisers, these people, like, it's their job. They try and make money off of X. But it's like, we shouldn't be censoring the word COVID. But listen, Tim Walz, these police officers are going around. It's like little Jimmy's like playing with a little, a little putt-putt or whatever. He's playing with a basketball and they start rapid firing on him like it's Black Ops 4. So I guess Black Ops 6 is coming out or whatever. Is it Black Ops 5? But, yeah, so they open fire, and remember, they've got the snitching thing going on there, where Tim Walz literally sends people care packages. He sends it to neighbors' houses, and there's like a magnifying glass, and there's the binoculars, and he says, you got to put these binoculars on, look outside to see if anyone's out there, and then we can go in with the paintball guns. I mean, it's on video, and they're like rapid firing the paintball guns. It is really bad.
Here, the police say, get in the house, you'll hear
look at this
commands, and then you'll hear
there they are
them up, and then that's when you get the fire. We'll play it again.
This is
Get in your house now. Let's go.
little Jimmy was trying to walk his dog.
Light him up.
And so that's what Walz supports. It's amazing. Your true colors come out when you're a politician during crisis, and Walz took everyone's rights away. What a horrible choice Walz was. I mean, there's just so much stuff that comes out about him every day about how bad he is. Elon Trump interview. I'm not going to go through this, but listen, it was a very common sense interview and a very good interview by Trump and Musk. Oh, this was amazing. Stephen Colbert last night, quote, "I know you guys are objective over there at CNN and that you just report the news as it is." And so the crowd laughed right after that. And you could tell, unfortunately, guys, I cannot play this because I had issues in the past with Stephen Colbert clips where they take all the money, they copyright it. It's just ridiculous. But when it comes to this, Stephen Colbert says that, and you could tell he was serious. If you go watch this clip, he was being honest. He was about to say, you guys are fair and whatever. But before he can get that out, the crowd laughs because they think it's a joke. Because CNN, even the leftist crowd, because Stephen Colbert, it's all liberals, they even start laughing. And even Caitlin Collins said, "Is that supposed to be a laugh line?" And then Colbert kind of has to play into it. It wasn't supposed to be. And then he said, "But it is." But you could see Colbert was trying to actually defend it and be like it wasn't supposed to be a joke. But the crowd starts laughing at it because they know how ridiculous it is to say that, "I know you guys are objective." And then Colbert's like, no, it's not a joke. And then Caitlin Collins is like, "Yeah, this is, you're trying to make fun of me or something at CNN." But everybody knows, even liberals know. They came out and they laughed at that. Let's use paper ballots. Well, they can't use paper ballots. This is the thing with these liberals. It's like, why are they so... Listen, if you want election transparency, if you want conservatives to stop questioning your elections, why don't we implement similar systems to what Europe does, to where it's a lot more stringent on having voter ID? I mean, they declined the act to have voter ID. They declined it. They didn't want it. Why is that? Like, guys, if you want to beat a liberal in an argument, that's really all you have to say. They've admitted they want illegals to vote. Why else would you decline, mandating people show their ID at the polls? What is the actual reason? There's no reason. They can't say anything. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. And that's why that act that they tried to push through, the Republicans, that was very smart. I know people were complaining. They're like, "You're doing it too late." Well, no, make them admit they want illegals to vote. That they did that, and they gave us ammunition. And so now they've admitted it. Let's use the paper ballots. They can't do that. Listen, the paper ballots, it's going to, obviously Glenn Youngkin with Virginia, what he was able to do was really good. And then here is the new updated Kamala Harris favorability rating trends. And buckle up for this one. So July 2nd, obviously before Harris was installed, or I think this was before, or maybe, yeah, it was before. July 2nd, Harris favorability, 36%. It was an all-time low, minus 17.5%. And then a month later, I think she just walked on water or something, because now it's -4. Remember, Donald Trump got a 4-point bump in approval rating when he almost was shot in the head, and he came up and said, "Fight, fight, fight." This woman hides, doesn't do a single interview, runs from a Fox News debate, and she gets, and by the way, the rallies are the most, I seriously might just react to one of her rallies in a live stream, because this is what it is. She says 3 words, and then you've got all of her little campaign managers around the stage, like telling the crowd to clap for 20 seconds. She'll say 3 words, the crowd will clap for 20 seconds. She'll say 5 more words, the crowd will clap again. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. But no, Donald Trump almost gets shot, says fight, 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 like a true patriot and a true hero. He gains 4 points in approval. She does nothing. But at least the 18-year-old barista is going to vote for her now. She's a brat. Listen, she's a brat. Being a brat is more important than almost dying and standing tall for your country. No, it makes sense now. Now it does make sense. Absolutely. That's why she's gone up so much. No. They're right, because remember, their big attack line now is that all Donald Trump supporters, MAGA is a full cult. This makes total sense. We're a cult, but Kamala Harris had the lowest approval rating of any VP, minus 17.6. She doesn't do a single thing except allow the mainstream media to promote her and drop propaganda on her. And now her approval rating is the highest since September of 2021. She's done nothing. And actually, it should have gone down based on how pathetic it's been to where she's been installed. And it is crazy that she's got this arrogance to her to where, I mean, I'll make the same point again. If you're installed to where you didn't win a primary, wouldn't you feel like, get me out there as much as possible so I can prove to the American people that I'm the choice? I had 0 primary, I've had 0 debates. Let me debate Trump 10 times, 20 times, 100 times. This is why these people are pampered babies, and this is the second time it's happened to Trump, where it always has to be their way. Biden has to only do 2 debates. One of them has to be in June. Kamala Harris doesn't want to do Fox News. Trump puts out 3 debates. She'll only do 1 now. They're little babies. They run from debates. She does. I mean, it's not even debates. It's just talking in general to anyone. And so, no, it makes sense. The MAGA people are the cult, but she does nothing, and all the Democrats suddenly love her. Oh my God, it makes total sense. Yes, men can get pregnant. MAGA people are the cult, though. But men can get pregnant, right? Yeah, it makes complete sense. But guys, so that's just the reaction on this video, and it is unbelievable. I think this approval rating, by the way, is total crap. There's no way it's this close. This bump is going to end at some point. They need to get her out talking, but certainly this is going to end. It's not a big deal. Guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.